Oh boy, I was looking at the wrong thing, and like I was looking at the password for the meeting, and I'm like, that's not the same meeting. And then it's like meeting ID is different. And I just said that while being recorded.
Tak,
All right, Chair, go ahead.
okay. Fantastic. Good evening. The meeting of the South San Francisco Traffic Safety Commission for the Tuesday, February 14, 2023 will please come to the order. May I have a roll call, please?
Okay. At 5:35 is the start time.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, 5:35.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yep. Chair Abarca,
here.
Vice Chair Malpati,
Present.
Commissioner Monzon,
Present.
Commissioner Ewan is not present, and Commissioner Carbone not present. We have a quorum. Chair, we can proceed.
Okay. Are there any changes to the agenda review?
Yes, Chair. Staff is requesting that given we have excused absences for 2 of our 5 commissioners, that we vote to table item number 3, which is the Traffic Safety Commission Annual Reorganization, to table the item and vote to move it to our next meeting instead of tonight.
Sure.
Okay.
Public comment? Do we have any public comment?
As of 5 p.m. today, staff has not received any emails or voicemails regarding any items on the agenda this evening.
Okay. Okay, now normally we have regular meeting minutes. Now we have consideration of draft minutes.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the regular meeting minutes.
Okay.
Or-
Tak approval of the regular or consideration of the meeting minutes from the November 8th,
Mhm.
2022. May I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
I make a motion to approve.
I second.
Second.
Okay. Let's go
Roll
thumbs
call.
up if you agree, or to approve the meeting minutes.
Yes,
Yes, yes, yes, and yes. Okay,
yes.
meetings are approved.
Okay, administrative business, TAC 2012, TAC 2301 meetings.
Thank you, Chair. So since our last meeting, we've had 2 TAC meetings, and as per usual, I'll read off like the items, and then if there's any specific questions, our colleague Jeff Chow from engineering will be here to help us kind of discuss the responses to that. So let me start with TAC meeting 2212, starting with 2212-1 at 200 Linden Avenue. There was a request for a no parking tow-away zone signage and red paint from 243-212 third lane due to repeated driveway blockage. Then we have a 2212-2 on Dundee Road, a request for traffic calming, which is including solid yellow lines, appropriate signage, red curbs near corners on Dundee Drive and Dunman Way. 2212-3, Camaritas Avenue. Camaritas Avenue, there was a request for a speed cushion in front of 815 Camaritas Avenue to address vehicle collisions and speeding vehicles. 2212-4, request on Camaritas Avenue again. Request for a multi-way stop at Camaritas and Ave and Camaritas Circle to address vehicle collisions and speeding vehicles. Then there was multiple work orders, just updating TAC and the commission on the status. A few of them have been completed already from these are items that were approved or moved to action from previous TAC meetings. Then there were other items such as 2212-A, Callan Boulevard and Lakes Way. Discussion of vehicles running the stop sign brought up by our police department. 2206-5, Sister Cities Boulevard. There was a request for additional radar speed sign along Sister Cities Boulevard and request for no trucks over 14 feet and signage along Randolph Avenue. 2201-2, San Felipe Avenue, a request for 2 speed humps due to speeding on San Felipe Avenue. And there was 2212-5 and 6 on San Felipe Avenue, request for speed humps between Cerro Drive and Del Monte due to speeding on Felipe. And then, yeah, there's just multiple requests for that. So, yep. So let's start with that one. If any commissioners have a specific item they'd like to discuss further.
Yeah, the 2212-1, can we talk more in details to that, please?
Sure. 2200 Linden Avenue, request for no parking tow-away zone signage in red paint. Jeff, I think.
Yeah, was there a specific question? Yeah, this was I believe there's already existing tow-away zones signs at that location, but we're just upgrading those signs to say tow-away at the top of those signs, so police have the ability to tow the cars away when they are double parked.
Is that right in front of the new construction, or this is on past that, the 200? I thought that was 201, right? The construction, Cypress and.
Believe.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. This is on Linden. I got confused with Grand Avenue and Cypress.
Yeah, 200 Linden.
Well,
Yeah.
okay. So this is by the this is by the gas station, right? The 200. No, it's the following. The 200 is by the corner of Linden and Baden, right? That's the block.
It's Linden and Cypress. So the specific issue was on 3rd Lane, I believe.
Third lane. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. I've seen a lot of cyclic fix complaints on 3rd lane, like pretty much every day, like cars going the wrong directions and cars parked where not supposed to. But it seems like every other day. Probably is anything that we're trying to do to help those residents, or people that goes and use that parking lot to go to the local businesses.
Yeah, I do recall seeing some cyclic flicks, on the lanes that goes through TAC, the Traffic Advisory Committee, and I think the previous one, I think it's just some people just even though they know it's a one-way street, they take the shortest way to get back to the main road. So unfortunately, that's just a force of habit, kind of, or things that we can't really change unless we have more enforcement. So.
But PD is aware of these.
Yeah.
And because they're part of TAC, so they're aware of these kind of like behavioral stuff that's happening. So if like additional enforcement is required, then that's what they'll recommend. But as of right now, it's just right now, no.
I'm not expert on the paintings, but can we put some sort of wrong direction or wrong way that between the parking lot and 3rd lane, so people is kind of more visible? Is that possible?
I suppose like when this issue comes up again, we'll bring that up and see if that's something that we could do. But when someone sees like a shortcut, they'll usually take it 9 times out of 10, right? So just being aware of that. So we can explore, bring that up to TAC and explore some kind of like markings on the ground, you mean, or a sign?
Yeah, more like markings that is like visible, right?
Right.
At night or day.
Mhm.
Because if a sign is kind of, sometimes people is in a rush, they just go, like you said, they're looking for the shortcut. But something that is reflective, something big, on the floor, maybe painted, red, you know.
Okay, we'll bring that up to tech. This
Thank
issue
you.
comes up. Yeah. Okay, other items? No?
No.
Okay. Last call?
So,
Okay. All right, 2301, sorry, TAC meeting 2301. This was the most recent one we've had. Let's go down the list. 2301-1 Avalon Drive. There's a request for speed humps, additional stop sign at Waverly, and edge white striping to reduce speed and increase visibility. Sorry, lane markings. Then 2301-2, 301 McClellan Drive, there was a request for improved lighting and or pedestrian conditions at the intersection of McClellan and the BART near the Trader Joe's parking lot due to incidents and pedestrian safety concerns. 2301-3 at Hickey and Hilton Avenue, request for repositioning of a pedestrian push button at the corners of Hickey and Hilton due to concerns of pedestrian accessibility. 2301-4, 27 Magnolia Avenue, there was a request to paint a red curb near the driveway to deter people from parking over the edge of driveway. 2301-5, Avalon and Junipero Serra, request to change the freeway off-ramp left turn traffic signal light to include a yellow arrow to caution drivers turning left. Then there were other items or holdovers from previous TAC meetings. Again, work orders, noting items that have been referred to our maintenance team. 2301-A Dundee Drive, there's a request for renewal, disabled parking renewal at 343 California Avenue. 2301-B Armour Avenue in Olive, a request for stop signs and other traffic safety measures to avoid a collision at this intersection, logged in by our police team. 2301-C Barrington Court, a residential parking question. And 2301-D, determining whether future TAC meetings will be virtual, hybrid, or in person. Then 2201-2 San Felipe Avenue, request for 2 speed humps due to speeding on San Felipe. And then last one is 2212-A Callan Boulevard and Lex Way, discussion of vehicles running the stop sign. So any specific items from this TAC meeting that you want to discuss?
My thoughts are that if they're requested by the police, they have, good knowledge of what would be the best resolution of the dangers that they've probably witnessed at those locations. My only concern is when residents request speed bumps. I mean, I think every city in this town would have a speed bump or two if it was up to one resident. So I'm a little leery about all the speed bump requests, but the police request here seem reasonable.
Mhm.
And I want to make a comment on 2301-BS and Boy. That corner is, I'm glad that is being requested,
Mhm.
because that is also another intersection for the students that go to Martin School. So, the students sometimes they have challenge to cross that street because there is no stop sign, and it's kind of like a blind side that is on trees also in that corner, that doesn't allow you to see what is coming from Olive towards the school. So hopefully that could be addressed.
I think, Jeff, tell me if I'm off base here, but like, what's our safe routes to school thing for Martin?
Did it include this intersection? I have to double check. Can't remember. I know we do have a CIP project coming up to install high visibility crosswalks at this intersection.
No, like I think staff concurs. There's some, and there's already a capital improvement project looking to make improvements at this intersection. So we concur with the decision and what police has brought up to our attention.
I had a question through the chair. High visibility crosswalks, is that the little blinking lights or is that just reflective paint on the crosswalks? I'm curious.
That's the reflective paint. Yeah.
Oh. This is not the flashing light on the side of the crosswalk.
No.
Okay.
So there are certain warrants we have to meet. So like if there are enough people using those crosswalks, and if there's a lot of them, then it may warrant like the installation of the flashing lights thing. But that, that's to be determined. We still have to like study that before we just install it. But one of the quick and easy things we can do is improve the visibility, like making that paint the crosswalks visible, especially at night. And then, so that's one way we can achieve that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Other items? No? Okay. Thank you, commissioners. Go back to our agenda. All right, that concludes item number 2, Chair.
Like the number 3 we are skipping, yes, no?
So staff is recommending that the Traffic Safety Commission vote to table this item to our next regular meeting to ensure participation and availability of all commissioners for the reorganization. So we'll take a motion to table the item and a second.
Great.
I'll make a motion to table the reorganization for Traffic and Safety Committee until the next meeting.
Okay.
I can second.
Let's go ahead and like roll call this one. Chair Abarca,
Yes.
Vice Chair Malfatti,
Yes.
and Commissioner Monzon.
Yes.
Okay. Item 3, the Traffic Safety Commission annual reorganization has been tabled to the next regularly scheduled meeting. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Items from the commissioners.
I have nothing.
Yeah, through the chair, I would like to, Chris, if you can say whatever is happening with Commissioner David Carbone, that we hope he's okay, and we just let him. If you can please let him know that we're missing on the commission today.
Yeah, we'll do. I'll pass that along. Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Hermes, through the chair, Chris, would you give him our condolences from all of the commissioners, Mr. Carbone?
Yeah, sure, we'll do.
Yes.
Definitely.
Okay. I have something. Probably doesn't belong to here, but when I have you already here, we are going to the dog park. I think that the dog park really needs some wood chips. Like, can you pass it? I'm talking about the dog park next to the Safeway, the big one.
Okay.
Really, we need more wood chips because we don't have any more there. Like, the poor guys are running on the bad ground.
The dog park next to a Safeway?
Yeah, between Safeway and Boys and Girls Club.
Okay, all right. Like
The long one. It's start in the Boys and Girls Club. I go to the Safeway.
sure. We'll pass that on to our Parks and Rec folks.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Yeah, poor guys, like, we really need to upgrade it there.
Yep.
They totally disappear. Thank you, Christopher.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Any other comments?
From the commission? Nope. Okay.
Yes, yeah, one more. I wanna say thank you, Chris, and thank you, Kelsey, for all the work that you're doing to put this one together. We appreciate that you were doing all the preparations for today. And thank you, Jeff, too, for joining us.
I'll
Thank you.
deflect and have all of that praise go to Kelsey and Jeff because I can't do this without them. So
We all do.
Mhm.
We all do appreciate you.
I second that.
Chair, if you don't
Okay,
mind.
items
I'll,
from staff. Do
yeah.
we have some items from staff?
Yes, I'll repeat, it needs to be said on Traffic Safety Commission. The temporary provisions due to the pandemic that were enacted regarding the Brown Act, which allowed all committees and commissions to meet virtually, is expiring on February 28th, which means our next regularly scheduled meeting in March will have to be in person with no hybrid options. So that's something we're figuring out as staff. I'm sure it'll be a change for commissioners as well. I know like Jeff has to find a babysitter at this time now because he has to be at the office longer. But effectively, like we have to make that adjustment. Staff and city council directed staff or allowed staff to send comments to the state about making amendments to the Brown Act to allow for virtual options, because that, I think it's a question of like public participation, and I think we've actually had more public participation when they can actually just zoom in from home or where they are. So going back to the pre-pandemic, all meetings being in person and anyone that wants to make a comment will have to come here. May not be the way to go in terms of public participation. But for now, that is our directive, is that all commissions in the city must meet in person. So it'll be here at the City Hall Annex at the Engineering and Planning Division's offices. We have a conference room here, which we'll figure out how to situate just to make sure everybody's not elbow to elbow. And then we'll take it from there.
Chris, if they approve it, what is considered hybrid and what is considered, virtual? I mean, kind of got confused.
Right. So hybrid is when you have like how city council has been operating, where like you'll have all of the commissioners in person, but staff or members of the public, or even at sometimes like city council members will just zoom into the meeting and participate that way. Where we have right now is fully virtual, which is everybody, nobody's anywhere, like just me and Kelsey in the office, and I think Jeff is in his office, but commissioners are in their respective spaces. So hybrid would be allowing one, two, or all members of the commission to stay remote, like stay in your own homes, and then we'll host a meeting and then we'll take public comments virtually. So that's the difference. Like,
Okay.
let's say you wanted to be here, then we'll make sure that the space is available and everybody else stay remote. That would be the hybrid option, but right now that's not a option for us.
Okay. And it's been requested to the state is the virtual option.
Yeah,
Or the
some
hybrid.
flexibility to to smaller jurisdictions, like because right now the state is saying the Brown Act says you have to meet in person, no virtual options, and it's not. And then the letter asking the state to modify the Brown Act to make that more flexible by allowing cities or local jurisdictions to put forth their own rules in public meetings.
Yeah, thank you.
Through the chair, Mr. Spiritu, when do you expect to hear back from the state's decision about that?
So unfortunately, like, we've sent, like, municipalities, local jurisdictions have sent their comments in. But it's usually, this is a process that has to go through like the state legislature. So it's possible that we won't even have anything until possibly early 2024, you know, so yeah, so let's hope that it's not like that, you know, but right now, our path forward is in person. So just be aware that that's happening.
Okay, is it all? Can we adjourn?
Yep, that's it.
Okay, the meeting is not adjourned at 6 o'clock. Thank you very much. Have a nice evening.
Right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you soon.
Thank you. Have a
Bye.
good evening.
Thanks,
Bye.
everybody.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff. Bye.
Thanks, Chris.
Have a good night. Thank you.
Good night.